Whoa! Hey!
Whoa!
Yeah!
I feel like our opening dance sequence gets longer.
It does.
Every episode.
Just
and also a little bit more intense. Right? Oh, Dale.
I felt like going with an eye there.
Really bringing that eye to the dance floor.
Yeah, that's it. That's all. Welcome to Hype Night!
Welcome to Hype Night!
Oh my gosh, we're so happy you're here.
Oh man, it's great.
I'm so happy you're here.
I'm so happy you're here.
So happy we're all here.
We're happy we're all here together.
Oh my gosh. Welcome to Hype.
Welcome to Hype Night. If you've been here before, thanks for coming back.
Yeah.
If you're new,
welcome.
welcome.
Hype Night is a show that we decided we were going to do because we wanted to bring on some amazing women and just hype the heck out of them.
Yeah.
Because there's so much wonderfulness and people are doing such amazing work in their lives and it deserves to be hyped and shared.
Yeah. So we have a list that's very, very long.
So long.
And we'll be here for the rest of our lives.
I just
hyping
added
women.
three more people to it today.
Did you?
I did.
I have to go check.
In my mind.
I'll check your mind later.
Yeah.
We'll have a moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is my mind is like a Google Doc. You just go check it out.
Whatever.
Make some changes.
What's going on?
No big deal.
So yeah, maybe you're joining us on Facebook Live.
Could be right now.
Great. Maybe you're watching us on Amazon Prime. Maybe you're in the US or UK and that's where you're seeing us.
Yeah.
Welcome. Or on Highball TV.
That's right.
We also now have a podcast.
We have a podcast because some of you are not watching the show, you're listening to it later. So if you're listening to it, I'm giving you a big thumbs up.
Big thumbs up.
See it.
She did some really great dance moves. She had a really cool eye move that she did. You missed it, but you felt it.
You can picture it.
The thing is, you can feel it.
Yeah,
That's
and you know
the
what?
thing.
We are on Podbean, and you can find us there. And also, listen, if you love Hype Night so very much,
Yes, if you love Hype Night,
you could go to Patreon.
yeah.
And you could become part of the community there because we're adding in some exciting features.
Yes.
Like the bitch sessions.
Yeah, before the show we have a bitch session, and if you're a patron of the show, you can see part of that bitch session.
Yeah, because we're super positive, but then sometimes just a little bit before, we just have to have a little moment.
We vent.
That's all.
Vent a little bit.
No big deal.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, to start off Hype Night, we usually give each other a little bit of hype.
We do.
I'm going to give Melissa some hype
Okay.
right now.
Sweet.
Because no one rocks a dress like Melissa D'Agostino.
Oh,
no
that's
one.
kind.
No one. No one.
Well, that's very kind.
Nuh-uh. Because I saw pictures of you and your gorgeous husband, the two of you standing together looking gorgeous at the CSAs?
Yeah, it was the CSA nominee reception.
Okay, there you go. CSA nominee
Yeah.
reception. I wasn't there. But they were
It was
there.
a fun night.
You were gorgeous.
Thank you.
It was like a gorgeous dress. You look
Thank
great.
you.
I was just like, shit, look at this.
Dale, that's really nice. Thank you very much.
You're
I
very
get very
welcome.
nervous at those events, so it's very nice to hear compliments. I have so much social anxiety at those events.
I think those events that's how they're going to be.
Right, I think I make this thing in my head where I'm like, other people just go to these things and are effortless, and I build this whole complex.
Nobody's effortless. People are like duct taping.
You're cinched in, right?
They're like
a lot.
This part, they're duct taping that down. That's
Well,
not
it's
effortless.
It's like I have different types of shapewear for each outfit. Because
Yeah.
you're like, this dress I have to hide. Well, whatever.
But good for you for even having the appropriate shapewear.
Well, thank you.
I don't even.
Listen, shapewear is good. It can be good.
Shapewear is wonderful.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. I have one.
Yeah.
And then every time I put it on, I'm like, oh no.
That's how I feel every time.
What am I doing?
But then imagine you feel like that. You're like, and then you're at a party. People are like, hey, and you're like, hey. You're like cinched into your thing. Anyway,
Anywho.
Whatever.
You
Thank
look
you
great.
for
You're
your
very
compliment.
welcome.
I really
You're
appreciate
very
it. Dale, my hype for you is I love your dance moves. And more than just your dance moves, I love your dance face.
This one today?
The dance face today was new. I like it. But you always have a good, casual, it's so chill, but yeah, like that.
Thank you.
It's really good. If you're listening to the podcast, you can't see it, but if you're watching, it's just so chill and
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I feel like my face has done a lot for me in my life.
It's a great face. You have a great face, Dale.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
I'll take that. Damn
it. That's the rules of hype. You have to take it.
I will. And
Yeah.
I'm taking it right
Okay.
now. Oh my
Take
gosh.
it.
Hello to all our viewers. There's so many.
Hey, hi. So that's hype night. Basically,
that's it.
we compliment
Yeah.
and we bring a guest on. We don't just do it with each other.
No.
we did one show where it was just us.
Yeah.
Which was kind of off the rails. But yeah. Tonight, we have an amazing... Like, I can't even...
I know.
I've been really nervous all day
It's
about
true.
having this guest on the show.
And I've had people being like, who do you have tonight? And I'm like, you're making it worse. You're making it worse. So stop upsetting me. You're making it worse.
Because the thing is, like, sometimes you see a person and you see what they do and you see how they are in the world and you're like, that is what you want to, like, that's what I aspire to be, as this person and all of everything she does and her whole spirit. So I just can't even. So we're going to bring her on because...
Yes, let's just do this.
Because we just have to.
Okay, great.
And I'm going to make sure the music's on this time because remember...
And I'm also going to say hello to Edmonton, who's watching.
Hi, Edmonton.
Just people in Edmonton.
Amazing. Okay. We're so happy you're joining us. So tonight, our guest is the wonderful Jennifer Podemski. Oh my yes, dance moves to the table.
Yeah. We need a standing
Thank you, open source music.
Thank you so much. Welcome, Jennifer.
Welcome, Jennifer.
Thanks.
Welcome.
Oh my gosh.
Thanks for having me.
Oh my God, thanks for being here.
Thank you for
Film
being
and
here.
television producer, actor, advocate, activist.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
All the things.
All these wonderful things.
Yeah. Educator, champion. We're going to get to all of it.
Thanks.
But those are that's just the beginning. But first,
Let's have a drink.
let's have a drink.
Okay. So today there's a lot of things that go along with this drink. And I know that all of our viewers watching, especially our
We'll
last
change it up.
couple shows, have really enjoyed me pouring things. So we're going to do a little bit more of that.
Jennifer, you said you wanted tea.
Yes.
And a green tea. So we're going to have a green tea tonight.
Love it.
I love a green tea.
Love it.
Organic Silk Dragon Jasmine.
Love that silk dragon.
Little shopping network shot there for you out there. It's a David's Tea product. David's Tea is still not a sponsor of the show. Nope. And I still keep buying tea from them, which means I'll probably never become a sponsor, but I'm just going to put it out there again. David's Tea, if you'd like to.
You can answer my email. Okay, great. My multiple emails. Okay, this is heavy. God, it's so heavy.
Damn.
Here we go. I'm afraid.
Dale.
I'm doing
Dale,
great.
you're doing great. Dale.
These are Umagico
Cups.
cups.
So the cups change color as you put the hot liquid in them. These were a gift, a wedding gift for me and Matt, who's behind the camera tonight. Matt, shout out to Matt in the studio. Shout out to my sister Sonia in the studio. Hello. She's talking to you on the internet. And
it's changing color.
see, there you
That's
go.
so cool.
It's so
Right?
Imagico.
Ooh,
That's
okay.
really cool.
Magico.
Oh.
I'm gonna
Such
just
a
put
cheesy
this
name.
here. Is that cool?
That's perfect. Dale, you did such a great job.
Thank you.
Cheers. Thank you for being here.
Cheers.
Thanks for having me.
Pleasure.
Cheers. My
Pleasure.
mom is watching.
Hey,
Mom.
Lynn. Probably hot, but
Oh, that's good.
Oh yeah.
yeah, green tea.
I love green tea. You gotta come to it in your life. I feel
Yeah.
like green tea doesn't come to you. You have, to,
to
go
come
to
to
it.
It's just, you have to force yourself
That's
the
very-
first few times, and then it just becomes a habit.
And then you're like, this is good. It's an antioxidant. I should keep doing this.
That's very deep. That's also a very profound statement you just made, Dale. I like it.
Magical.
So we usually start with the best part of our day. So whatever part of your day, made you sing, or made you just was good. Like maybe it was a little thing, a little part of your day.
I don't know. We were talking before. Was it frisky? What word did you use? Frisky.
Oh, I said punchy.
Punchy.
I think.
I had a punchy day.
Oh,
it
yeah.
was like, I felt like there was some sort of massive female energy happening today.
Mm-hmm.
Energetically, like in my home, in my world, in our world, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was other people who were feeling it.
No, I'm feeling
So
it.
I feel like the best part of my day was like harnessing that power and really standing up for myself in a couple of very specific situations that I felt so, I just felt so good about myself.
Oh my
and
gosh.
it was a weird feeling because you don't always have the opportunity to say, you know what, I'm going to stand up for myself right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say exactly how I feel, regardless of the circumstance. And I did it. And I did it like twice.
That's
Oh my
amazing.
God,
Good for you.
That's fantastic.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
That's not like an everyday thing for me. So that was
That's huge.
Well, good. That's great to hear.
And you know
I love
what?
that.
Even if it was an everyday thing, it still
Yeah,
takes that
it's-
moment where you have
yes,
to go like,
yes.
oh, I have to
From
do
this day forward, it will be an everyday thing.
Yes.
Ah, I love it.
Hype.
I do think that because tomorrow is International Women's Day, and I've been feeling like people have like been posting about that, and people have been. I did feel a similar kind of energy today.
There's something.
Yeah,
It's like the intention experiment, you know, like everyone thinks about the same common thing and it grows and manifests.
Yeah.
All things become possible.
Well, you know what? I'm going to link it into my
Okay.
best part of my day.
Great.
I went to a talk at the Textile Museum today, and there was a lot of talking and a lot of things and things to be upset about and things to be inspired by, but something that was very interesting about it was all women.
Huh.
All women.
Wow.
The whole auditorium, everybody on the panel, everybody was women, 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 women. And what was interesting about it is nobody was talking about the fact that we were all women.
Yeah.
It was about textiles, it was about the work, it was about everything else. It wasn't all like, because we're women standing here together. It was just like, this is the work that's happening right now. And it was pretty cool.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, mine is, I guess, sort of connected. So I was getting ready to do the show, and I also had a bit of a punchy day and like I don't know, lately I'm feeling a little bit like discombobulated or not quite grounded.
March, man.
Yeah, like what was just like, I don't know if it's tax season, I don't know what it is. But I'm like, what is this
That might have something to do
feeling,
with it.
right? So I was watching this old interview with Frances McDormand at Cannes, where she did this interview about like women in motion, and it was like this like female forward interview or talk. But I was just so struck by her, how frank she is, and how she was just like, listen, women are already in motion, okay? We don't need more platforms, we just need money. We've already been doing it, we've been doing it forever, we're all amazing, just give us money. Like, it was this great talk that was just like, this is great, I love being here to talk to you, but we don't need more of these talks, we just need money. Like, it was this fantastic,
So true.
frank thing of just we already are here. Everybody else just needs to, like, all the other powers that be, and you just need to step into that consciousness. It's not even about anything else. It's just take a step into the consciousness of what's actually
I
happening.
kind of feel like that with every single thing that's written.
Right?
here.
Yeah.
Just give her money.
Yeah,
give her money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because you're doing amazing work.
Yes.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
hijacked your thing.
No, but I love it.
That's
But
how
it's
I felt.
true.
I was like looking at it going, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. That was the best part of my day.
That's nice.
Being like, like stand in the
That's
the
it.
knowledge that it's already happening. We know it's happening.
Yes.
It's just everybody else who doesn't know that yet just has to get with it.
That's it.
Just get with it. So
Oh, let me tell you. I'm going to tell you some hype rules, yeah?
yeah, let's do it.
So, hype rules for those of you at home or listening that don't know. There are 3 things that you have to keep in mind for hype night. You got to take your hype and take your praise.
Okay.
So we're going to say a bunch of stuff. Just take it. Number 2, if we get anything wrong, please let us know that we got something wrong.
Yeah.
And number 3, if there's anyone you want to hype along with your hype, say their names, and we'll give them hype.
Yeah. Tons of hype.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And away we go.
Away we go.
Yeah. Okay, we've it's been a real pleasure reading about all the wonderful and amazing things because I don't know you as well as Melissa was aware of you. So for me, I feel like it's been a bit of an education. Do I say that every week? I think I do. I think I do.
It's also just because I usually am the spearheading the research part of things because you're busy doing all the other distributing part of things.
That's
so,
true. That's
yeah.
kind of a theme that's happening right now.
Yeah.
That's good. It's
Yeah.
great.
That's how it is. Partnerships.
Yeah. So you started acting when you were a teenager.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Correct.
And, yes. And your cast is it Peak?
Peak. Yeah.
And CBC's The Diviners.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, that's
Yeah.
right.
and then you were in like Dance Me Outside, which was like seminal
Yeah.
moment in Canadian. I feel
Yeah.
like for growing
Yeah.
up,
Yeah,
it
totally.
was like such a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
That movie, I just remember it had such an impact. At least I felt like it did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it did for me. It
Yeah.
did for a lot of people. I think it was a great piece of filmmaking.
Mm-hmm.
In the fabric of Canadian films.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah.
So Melissa put together a bunch of stuff, and I thought it was interesting because she has here, by 25, you had a solid career under your belt.
Yeah.
That's like amazing.
No,
That's
I think
amazing.
that's yeah.
I mean, like I
mean, as an actor, it is from your bio, yeah. Because, but it's true because ultimately, like the thing that struck me the most, because of course, I knew of you and many of your projects, but doing the research for this show tonight, I was like, oh my, like the volume of the work you did as an actor.
Yeah.
Before you got into all the other work you started doing as a producer, I was like, this is an amazing wealth of just roles and experiences, and it's incredible.
Thank you.
I just want to say, like, it really is such an achievement, and
it's been a long time. It's been like 30 years. Mm-hmm. It's been 30 years.
Yeah. Like, busy 30 years.
It has, yeah.
Yeah.
Some days busier than others, but, you know, it's been a good solid career.
Yeah.
Right.
I'd say.
We would agree with you.
Yes.
I mean, we would probably say more than solid, but we're going to just go with solid.
Yeah, inspiringly amazing.
Yes. And then you started, so you had done all this acting, and then you started your first production company.
Mm-hmm. No big deal.
No big
Just
deal.
like, whatever, I'm going to
First.
start a production company.
25.
Whatever.
What was I doing when I was 25? It was like not starting my first production company. But you started that, which was Big Soul Productions,
Yep.
right?
Right.
Great. And it was the first Aboriginal owned and operated full service production company in Canada at the time.
I believe so.
Yeah.
I mean, we were doing, you know, concept to completion across the board with an in-house production, post-production suite, and it was, we were all in. We were all in.
Amazing.
Wow. That's amazing. And how did you feel like, were people like, yes, what a fantastic, because I'm thinking this is when you were like 25. This was, a little bit ago. I'm not saying you're old. I'm just saying it's a little bit ago. But like, were people like, yeah, man, that's great. That's great. We're all in. Or were people like, that's a nice thing you're doing?
I think it was a little bit of both.
Yeah, hey?
I think that there was a lot of, you know, support from our community. Mm-hmm. There was a lot of support from my peer group. So I think there was a sense that we were doing something that was really special, mostly because there was a real absence of the kind of content that we wanted to create. Mm-hmm. And because of that absence, we sort of figured that we would do it ourselves, because if we just relied on other people to help us do it, then it just wouldn't get done. Yeah. But in many ways, like, we really were hustling. We were hustling so hard. I remember this one time we went to the Banff Television Festival, mm-hmm. and I don't know if you've ever been there, but it's a really big festival in mm-hmm. Banff, and it costs a lot of money to go.
Yes. Yeah, and we were just talking about that.
Some episodes of a TV series that we did, and we just rented a truck, and we opened the back, and we took a massive television, I don't even know how big, it filled the whole trunk. Yeah. And we just played episodes like outside the front of the main area where the Banff Television Festival was happening, and we had water bottles with our TV show name on it, and then like keychains and stuff, and we were playing episodes, and we were like just selling our wares out of the back.
Oh my God, I love that so much.
That's amazing.
It was that's the kind of thing that we did for a long, long time. Yeah. And we were invested, very deeply invested.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That's an amazing story.
I love that story.
I love that.
Really, really
that's
great.
Such a thing I would do. I'm like, I love the spirit of that.
Yeah, it would be weird now though, because people don't watch TV like that anymore.
But I mean the spirit of we show up at this thing and we
well, it was like, you know, it was just that feeling that you have to be there. You have to be there, and if you can't afford to be there, then find a way to be there in a different way.
Yep, you do. Because you hear, I know, like year after year, I hear people going, it's like, I had this happen, I got that, I got to pitch this, and I got, and then you go like, wow, it's just like, so how do you get there though? How do you do that?
Now, we didn't sell the show, but we did, we caught people's eye. We made a statement. So
amazing.
And the point of that story was for you were asking if it was like, oh, cute, you know. We did get a lot of that, you know, like
Right.
Oh, you're two young girls, you know, so cute. You know, trying to run this big business.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Compete
watch
with
me.
all these other,
Yeah, you're like,
Watch
go ahead,
me.
underestimate me. Go ahead.
I love that,
Where,
yeah.
it's great. Being underestimated, it's great. Because then when you ride in next time, you're like, oh, hey, remember me?
Yeah.
Right. Sorry, do you want to take a meeting with me now?
Like,
You know?
I'll see if we have time. Go get my...
Or at the very
Back to
least,
car.
you know, it's for me, I find it spurs me on.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Those moments.
for sure.
Would say haters are motivators. Is that a someone
Yes.
has that?
Haters are
Haters are my motivators.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not anymore, though.
No.
Motivators are my motivators.
Yeah, exactly. Now lovers are
Just
my motivators. Yeah, that's right. So then, so was that before Moccasin Flats happened?
That was that was sort of the beginning of the creation of Moccasin Flats, or what that Moccasin Flats sort of started as us just trying to make content and decided to do training programs in communities, in Indigenous communities. So we would bring mentors, go to a community and work with the youth to make a short film based on the stories that they wanted to tell. And we did that sort of a few times across the country. And one that we did was in North Central Regina that ended up being really good. Like we liked it. We thought it was a good story. And one thing led to the next. I was on a show. I don't even remember how that happened, but we got into Sundance with that short film.
Amazing.
And I went to Sundance, and around that time I was on a show called Bliss, which was Adrian Mitchell and Janice Lensman, who now do Bellevue.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I was on a show as an actor, and I gave them the VHS of that short film.
Love it.
And they told me that they're going to introduce me to someone at Showcase, and then we pitched it to Showcase and APTN at the time. We were at Sundance, got a call.
Oh my gosh.
That they wanted us to write a show, or send us your show Bible. And we're like, what's a show Bible?
The thing we're going to write right now.
So that was in
I've got it. No big deal.
January, and we were shooting the TV series that June. So it was fast.
Wow.
It was fast.
You know, I've had
So cool.
people describe to me, I don't know where it comes from, but like that like hype is like a balloon. Like you get it, it's filled, and then when it's filled, you've got to like use your balloon while it's full and kind of keep going with it. And that is like a perfect example of that. We're going to do this thing. I don't know if it's going to work. We're going to use people from the community. We're going to tell stories that are from the heart. And we've been talking about this, like being authentic. It seems to be like a thing that's happening this month. We're talking about authenticity, and people want it, and they're craving it. And so to be able to take that authenticity, tell stories that people are interested in, and then go boom, 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 like that Sundance, boom, 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 take a story. Okay, great. It's gorgeous. It's wonderful. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, and it doesn't always happen that way, of course, but you might as well do it. You might as well do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, again, you can't really think about the outcome. You have to it's the process of doing the thing, doing the most authentic thing possible, you know, on your journey, and
absolutely
see what comes of it.
Because there were probably a lot of opportunities. You had a lot of chances during that example to go, we don't have the money to do this, or I don't know if this is a story we should be telling, or this isn't my story and I don't know how to feel about that, or whatever. And so many chances to say no.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
You know, so to push through that, that's like an amazing strength. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Take a moment. Let's all take a moment.
Yeah.
And the series had teens from that community in the show. Like that's also like an incredible.
I love that.
I love that element of the show.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah, it was really special. It was really special. I was just talking to Laura, my partner at Big Soul and on this show. Yesterday, I think we were talking about just the daily experience, like what we were up against, and you know that we were working in a place where a cab wouldn't even drop you off in that area because they don't go there.
Right.
We were working in a place where non-native people who live like close to that area have never heard of that area and have never even met or know a native person.
Wow.
So it was just a really interesting experience, social experience, you know, coming from such a melting pot like Toronto where, you know, in Toronto, growing up Native, you're basically an invisible minority. You know, you're not noticed, and therefore, you know, whatever racism I was exposed to was usually hearsay about Native people.
Right.
Oh yeah, right.
So, yeah, it was interesting.
That's interesting.
Wonderful experience, though.
It's interesting that you say that. I grew up in Toronto, and what I find interesting is I always look at the rest of Canada as being a place that like if you live somewhere else in Canada, you have a better understanding of like Indigenous like communities and people. But the idea, and I guess that's just a complete stupidity of myself, because I'm always like, I'm in Toronto. I didn't really have, you know, I wasn't in those communities or anything. I just assume everybody else has that. But to hear that and go, oh, there's people in these communities that are right next door that still don't even have any idea of it. That's kind of amazing to me to hear that. Yeah. Because I thought the experience of just being a white person in Toronto was just, this is what it's like to be a white person.
It's like that across the board. I mean, the system worked in, you know, miseducating everybody.
Yeah.
To, you know, to not, I don't know, to not pay attention or know or understand the truth, the real truth of what this country is really, you know, built on.
Yeah.
And because of that, because it worked, there are people everywhere who have no idea about, you know, or maybe have never met a Native person.
Yeah. Absolutely. Like, absolutely.
And I think, like, part of what I find so, you know, powerful about what you're doing and important is that I think what's exciting about the moment we're in many respects, I mean, I think for a lot of marginalized communities, I think, is when we are able to see stories by those communities, when those communities are given resources and time, and when more people behind the camera and in those decision-making positions are made up of those communities, then we're able to see that experience in a way that we didn't get to know it because of that systemic, you know, the systemic miseducation. And I think that's, I feel really hopeful about that, even in the days when it feels like that's not happening enough, of course. It's like, I'm excited about that because I can honestly say there are lots of communities and experiences that I don't know anything about, and I want to, and I feel like the people who should be showing me those experiences are those people, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it would be great. I'm so surprised that, you know, you turn on pretty much any channel in Canada and there is nothing that's reflective of, you know, authentic Indigenous stories except for APTN.
Right, yeah.
And I think that's shameful.
Or the half an hour show on TBC Tuesday afternoons.
Yeah, you know, like it's, you know, it's a one-off, or it's a, you know, it's a one-time documentary. Like there's no continuous, reinforcement of these realities, and that's a big main part of why I continue to, you know, that reality is what kicks me in the butt every time I just want to stop doing what I'm doing, because sometimes the work is so overwhelming and it does feel like you're on a wheel, you know, what are those called?
Hamster wheel? Yeah, totally.
You know, so in those moments, those are what I think about. Like, you know, we gotta create more opportunities for those stories to be told, and at the same time try to empower young people and youth to harness their voice and to share their story and to believe that they can overcome some of the very traumatic things that are happening today, while also educating or informing, you know, the rest of society to be more open and humble about what they know.
And you know, the other thing too is, like, so as a writer, writers here and creators and writers, it's like I'm gonna get a little on my high horse here for a second, but like you write things, and the more specific and the more detailed and the more truly specific it is, the more universal it becomes. And you hear from broadcasters and meetings and pitch meetings, and you sit down and you go, I don't know anyone who's going to be able to relate to this story. I don't know anyone who's going to be able to relate to this. inner city story of whatever, or this rural town of whatever. And the truth is, as long as it's detailed and it's honest and it's true, you'll find yourself in any detailed story.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
So that's the thing that like makes me crazy, that I go, sure, I have no frame of reference for what it might be to live in this area in Regina. I have none. I've been to Regina once. I was there for a day. But I'm telling you, to hear a story from there that is detailed and rich and coming from a place of authenticity, I'm going to find myself in that story.
Well, I think that's the power of stories, is that they have a way of connecting strangers.
Yeah.
And in the most profound way. And everyone is allowed to tell stories. That's the other part. It's like there is no one who is at this moment, right, in time, we are where we live, we are all able to tell stories.
Yes.
And there are people who maybe feel like they don't have the platform to tell a story, or maybe don't have the right, or they don't have a story to tell, but we all do. And I think that it's really the thing that can connect everybody. We do it all the time. We do it in every conversation.
Oh yeah, life is storytelling.
Yeah.
Just constantly.
Not to mention, everybody have a photo booth in their house now.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I love it. I watched a bunch of other interviews of you over this week in preparation for this, and I had so many things, and I was like, I can't put all these quotes in because I was like, we're going to be here forever. But there were so many, and there was one about like, if you feel like there's anything that's limiting you, that's not true, like, go for it. And I love that, and I agree. And we want to hear all your stories. It's like that, I think it was like, on the Oscars, Greta Gerwig was saying that, like, make your movie. I need your movie. I want to see your movie. We all want to see your movie. Like, tell your story.
So send us your movies.
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be movies. I think sometimes when we talk about storytelling, I think the best story starts with yourself, and the narrative that we create about ourselves and our life, right, becomes true. So if you think that you're, piece of shit person, then that's sort of what you manifest and you become. If you think that you're a worthy human being who has who has an opportunity to receive beautiful gifts from the universe, then that's part of the story that will manifest. So I think the most important story begins with you, and then we start from there and connect to people.
Yeah.
And I think that's true no matter where you are. But I also feel like that's like I'm in a luxurious place to talk about that. Sure. It's like talking about organic food.
Sure.
Only people who live a luxurious life can talk about organic food.
Right? We were just talking about this.
You go somewhere, in the north where it's, essentially a food desert, and, because there's, maybe poison fish because of a mine that's close by poisoning a river, the fishing is not a source of sustenance. That conversation about organic food is not realistic. But, so the storytelling conversation, I think, is I've grown to be a confident person, but I became confident over time because stories taught me how to become more confident.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And sometimes you have to tell a story that's not true so that you get a little bit more confident. And in yourself. It's like creating the myth.
Oh, yeah. And I think, like, there's also, we talked earlier, Dale and I, before the show, we were talking about the sort of fashion and fast fashion.
Because I just come from this thing.
And we were talking about food, and we were talking about sort of, you can't talk about these things without talking about all the systems that sort of, the confluence of all the systems. Yeah. Like, in terms of colonialism and poverty and economics and all those things. And it's like, what's amazing is, in the work of going into these communities and working with young people and bringing them onto your sets or working with them, is you tell them new stories. You, like, it's giving them, because honestly, I'm able to tell myself the stories I tell myself because of the privilege I had of being around theater when I was a kid, being around music, having the benefit of those things, having a sister who took me to see things and took me to the library, and having like, and to remember that not everyone has those things, but that we, in sharing our stories and being in positions to go and share them with other people, then you then sort of start this cool chain of storytelling that I think is amazing.
Storytelling is, it's so, when I come from a family of storytellers. My family will get together and they will sit and they'll tell stories back and forth, you know, and it's like, this happened, that happened, this happened at work. Remember when we did this? Remember the snowmobile this? These stories. And I always think for myself, that's where my storytelling came from. It came from sitting and listening to my family tell these stories for hours. Literally, the TV would be off.
Yeah.
And it would be, Christmas would be sitting there and it was the best. It was the best, you know? I don't know. I just wanted to share that.
I agree. And I think there's so many people that I know, like, not that I know hundreds and hundreds, but people that I know, people that I follow, people that I'm, you know, inspired by, who are doing the work every single day, you know, spreading those stories, sharing the stories, bringing dance and theater and athletics and all kinds of music, all kinds of different things to the people who need it the most, who are the people who don't have access to seeing people who look like them, telling them that it's okay, you know, that you're good, that you're worthy, and that wonderful things can happen for you in your life despite your circumstance.
Yes.
But you need to be told by people who you can relate to. And there's so many people doing that work. It's, you know, I definitely do less of it now because I have my own younger children and I like to focus more on my, you know, regional kind of area. But there's some really important work being done every day on the grassroots, on every level.
Well, we're gonna hype that.
That
deserves so much hype.
Big time hype
to everybody.
I also want to share with Doug Bedard.
That's my husband.
Hi, Doug.
That the teas are great. He's asking how the teas are.
Are they good? Do you want some words?
My husband.
Dale, you want to top her up?
They're great.
So in 2005 you branched out and you started your next production company on your own. So you and Lori sort of
we parted ways.
Right.
I started Red Cloud Studios, and she continued. Big Soul is still very successful and
amazing.
She's doing an amazing job running that machine. It's incredible.
Well, hype to Laura.
Yeah.
Yay!
I don't even know if she's watching. But.
Well, she feels it. I believe. People are really like, I feel what's that?
It's so much better when it's that strong. I love that.
Oh, good. Second steeping.
Love that.
Extra.
Second steeping.
I will say people are really engaging quite a bit on the Facebook Live comments page. I just want to kind of give a shout out to everybody who's kind of sharing how they feel about how this conversation is going in discussion and kind of sharing with each other. So gorgeous, keep it up.
Thank you.
You're all beautiful.
Thank you everybody for doing that. Yeah. We love that.
And go get some tea. Yeah. Victoria Vaughn.
Hey Victoria. Hype to Victoria. Nice to see you on the interwebs.
On the web.
So I want to talk about Empire of Dirt because I love Empire of Dirt.
Oh yes,
I
thank
love
you.
That movie, and so you starred in it. You also produced it, and if you haven't seen Empire of Dirt, please watch it. It's a great film, and it was at TIFF. And then you were nominated for Canadian Screen Awards. You were nominated as an actor and as a producer, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. It's just such a great. I really enjoyed it. And Kara's in it, and I know Kara. Kara and I went to the same university, same theater school. Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah.
Okay. Small world.
Yeah. And so what was that whole like journey like of that?
It was very intense. We myself and Shannon, the writer who wrote the film and brought it to me, we spent 8 years, I think, from start to finish trying to make that film. And you know, I had never produced a feature film before, and I was very protective, I guess, over how it was handled. it went through a lot of incarnations in terms of, you know, the script and the team, and we finally came sort of to a point where we brought on Peter Stebbings, who ended up directing it, myself and Shannon, and really kind of harnessed what this film was really supposed to be. And what we realized was this was a movie about women. This is a movie about overcoming trauma and intergenerational trauma, and just being true to that message, to that, you know, being authentic and staying authentic and true to that journey of these three women, and how we can get lost from our family, but we can always return home.
Yeah.
And so it was a difficult journey, though, making that movie. We made it for a little small budget, and it was such a surprise that it was so well received. I was surprised, not because, you know, I didn't have faith in it, but because by the end of making it, I was just so exhausted.
Yeah.
I was so exhausted.
Yeah. And then when you're done making it, there's still so much
so
more
much
to go.
There's so much more.
There's still so much more.
So, you know, we got 5 nominations that year, and that was, you know, pretty an awesome feeling.
Yeah.
Shannon won for Best Screenplay that year.
Yep.
It was great, and I really am truly will be forever grateful to Peter Stebbings for coming in and making that movie with us. He was a big part of the reason why it, you know, why people paid attention to it.
Right.
And,
well,
you know,
we're gonna hype that.
Yeah.
Peter Stebbings.
Hype.
Yeah. And the thing for me is, like, it goes back to what Dale was saying, because the thing for me about that movie is the intergenerational dynamics and the relationship between mother and daughter was so, like, it hit me so profoundly. Even though my personal circumstances are different than the ones in the film, I was just so, I felt so connected to that dynamic between the mother and the daughter, and a drifting away and a coming back together, and like the complicated nature of that. You know, that's never simple. Even when you can reconnect, or when you can sort of be in that the ebb and flow of that, when you're in the good part of it, it's still so complicated. And I just it really hit me. Yeah.
Awesome.
Thanks for making that movie.
Awesome.
Thanks for making that movie.
So did it do like the whole like film circuit after it did like TIFF? Did it go like go around? Like, did you have to go around with it?
It did. You know, I got pretty sick right when that movie was finished.
You were burnt out.
I didn't know. Well, I ended up realizing or finding out later that I had Lyme disease.
Oh man.
But I was like bedridden. I couldn't, my whole body was like, it turned to, I once did this commercial many, many years ago for lupus, and I did a lot of research on lupus, and I worked with this director named Floria Zigmondi, who was an amazing music video director. She's an amazing storyteller. So she, because I was a dancer, she told me, she was trying to teach me to get into the body of someone who had lupus. Maybe I manifested it, I don't know. But this idea that you're watching yourself from the outside, being trapped in a clear box. That was the commercial, right?
Yeah.
So that's how my body felt. It wasn't lupus. I don't know. Maybe it is lupus. I don't really know what happened to me, but that's the feeling, that I was watching myself be like stuck in this body that wasn't working properly. So Kara, my star, like I had to basically say no to every, get a first class ticket to this festival in Australia, Los Angeles, Florida, blah, 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 Vegas, everywhere, like around the world. And sometimes they weren't interested in anyone going except me for some reason. I'm not sure why, but, you know, maybe because it was the story that I was telling around the film, and then I ended up being in it, was something that they were interested in. But Kara did most of the festival circuit.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's crazy. Well, I had a friend who was having symptoms for quite some time, where her legs started not working properly and dragging, and they went through all the different possibilities of what it could be, MS and Parkinson's and all the stuff. And then finally it was chronic Lyme disease. Yeah. And I think it's a lot more prevalent than any of us is aware.
And I think a lot of people like kind of poo-poo the symptoms. Like people complain and you're like, and they're like, oh, she's just always, or he's always like that. Yeah. But I think it's like, it has to come high in Canada.
Yeah.
In this country, I think it needs to be higher on the list of
I agree.
things to look at. I don't even know, like, do they have a test to be like...
Not an accurate test.
No. Right? The one that she had, my friend had one done from the States that was, she had to pay a good deal of money for the more accurate test. Yeah, which again is bonkers because Canada is, a lot of
So I don't know what's up with that, but... You know, I started to go down the wormhole with the Lyme disease research. It's an endless wormhole. Yeah. So I just, manage it with diet and I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just try and take care of myself because I don't want to miss any more film festivals.
No, we want you flying first class.
More importantly, I don't want to, I couldn't pick up my children for the very first parts of, for sure, my son's life. I couldn't pick him up. You know, the pain was just so immense that I couldn't pick him up. And that, I don't want to experience that again.
No, it's terrible.
Yeah.
Well, and also, you know what? I feel like people, even further from Lyme disease, I feel like people need to recognize and see symptoms in their bodies that go, look at yourself from outside of that box and go, is it weird that my thumbs don't work? Because I haven't been able to use my thumbs in 3 months. That's weird.
And even when when people, even medical professionals are like, be like, no, it's still weird.
You definitely
have to be your own advocate so much.
You definitely have to advocate for yourself in this world.
In this world, indeed.
I feel like first class tickets are coming to you.
They're coming to you.
So
this is all part of the energy that's happening.
We're going to manifest
first class tickets, film festivals, all the things, money, all the things. So I think we gotta get to our lightning round soon.
Right.
Because time's a ticking. But there's so much more. We could have you on we could do a 3-hour special and just scratch the surface of what you've been up to. I want to say you're also the co-executive producer and creative director of the Inspire Awards, which are through Global and APTN, right?
Well, it's actually this year it's going to be on CBC.
Ooh, fantastic.
So I'm going out to Winnipeg to do that next week.
Amazing. Well, we'll look out for that. Because it's the only show of its kind, I read, that celebrates outstanding Indigenous Canadians who are changing the world.
Yeah.
So let's all watch that.
Yeah, let's watch it. And you know what? We'll put a link up to it so everybody can get more information about it.
Yeah, we'll definitely do that. We're gonna get to the lightning round in a moment. I found this quote that I do want to quote you. I read this quote of yours where you said, "Teamwork makes dream work."
I stole that from my husband.
Okay, Doug.
Doug.
It's Doug, right?
Yeah. Good job.
Doug, that's a great line. And then you said one of your all-time favorite quotes is, "When I is replaced with we, even illness becomes wellness."
Yeah, I don't know where I saw that, but that is my favorite quote. When I is replaced with we, illness becomes wellness. Yes.
That's
great.
Come on. That is. It's the group, You're stronger, you're better, you're just more effective when you work as a team.
I did have to read it 3 times to fully let it impact me. But now I feel impacted.
And are you ready for a little...
Yeah, man.
Okay, so we're going to do...
Oh my God.
Your selected film and... This is the selected. It's a page of very small font. We're going to go nice and quick of your selected film and television credits. And because really, it's just fun. And everyone should hear as many things as possible as they can. Ready, Jill?
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Right.
Hard Rock Medical.
Fire Song.
Blackstone.
Sensitive Skin.
Republic of Doyle.
Empire of Dirt.
Jimmy P.
Take This Waltz.
The Border.
Robber Bride.
Moose TV.
Fugitive Pieces.
A Winter Tale.
Sue Thomas, FBI.
One Dead Indian.
The 11th Hour.
Distant Drumming.
Moccasin Flats.
Bar Life.
Degrassi.
Bliss. 3.
Looking for the Lost Bird.
Riverdale.
Blood River.
Don't Think Twice.
The Res.
1999 Aboriginal Achievement Awards.
Yeah, so there's that. Dear America.
Now the Inspire Awards, right?
Dear America.
Animorphs.
Mind Prey.
The Dinner.
First, Do No Harm.
Going Clean.
Aboriginal Achievement Awards.
But again,
Yeah, there's that.
Buddy's Birthday.
Bogus.
Fishtail Soup.
Dance Me Outside.
The Diviners.
Missing Treasures.
Maniac Mansion.
Conspiracy of Silence.
And then I think it's Wonderstruck.
Yeah, that's
Yay! That's just her selected. I just want to highlight the word.
It's most of them.
Who were you on Degrassi? What did you play?
I was the guidance counselor on the new Degrassi.
Yeah.
For,
All right.
I think 9 years.
What was your favorite
Advice?
advice that you had to problem and advice that you had to do?
I saw a scene where you gave someone, a girl, of advice, a woman or a young lady, advice on like her SAT prep course.
Right.
I saw that one.
I feel like it's Degrassi, so I feel like it would be like.
You know what? I think for me, it was when I got to work with kids that were like new characters, because I often played opposite, the main characters.
Right.
So it was always interesting to have new characters come in, and I didn't always know who they were, so then I'd read the script, whenever, try to figure out what's going on, whatever, and I always found that interesting. And then once I got to work with all of the cast in like a group session, and I think that was a school shooting episode, and that was like very intense, and also really intimidating.
Right. Those students that were on the actors that are students on there, their lives are crazy to me.
Yeah.
Like, people are obsessed with them and the show, and
my kids think it's insane that I was on a show with Drake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
they
Of course.
just think
Yeah.
I'm the coolest thing because of that.
Listen, when I was a kid, I felt that way about Degrassi, and then I remember about the original Degrassi, and then I remember in one of the years between university years, I came back to Toronto. I went to university in Windsor, and I spent the summer in Toronto, and I got a job at Canadian Stage, selling subscriptions. And I remember I was working the first night, and the woman across from me looked so familiar, and I was like, "Who is that? Why does she look so familiar?" And then someone was like, "Oh yeah, isn't it crazy? Like, just, asking people to buy subscriptions across from Stephanie K." And I was like, oh, like it all hit me. I was like, that's why, like, formative years of watching Degrassi and like seeing your face. And then we ended up becoming friends and going like salsa dancing together. But the whole time, every time I was with her, I would be like, I'm with Stephanie K. Like, it was like a real thing.
I remember getting a call from my agent. This was a few years ago, and she was like, "You have an audition for Degrassi." And I was like, "Oh my God, it's happened. I'm going to audition for Degrassi. This is crazy. I watched it growing up. I've been an actor for many, many years. Oh my gosh, this is so exciting." I was like 6 months pregnant. And I said, "Oh, do they know I'm pregnant?" And she was like, "Hang on," and whatever. And it was for like a recurring teacher role. And then they were like, "No, thank you."
Oh.
And then they were like, "No, thanks." Can't have pregnant person on Degrassi. Anyway,
That scene, actually,
hype night.
the SAT scene that you saw, I was pregnant in that scene.
Really?
That was not my last episode, but then I came back after my baby, and that's kind of when my character phased out. But
Hype night.
Hey! Degrassi Junior High. All right.
Okay.
So there's so much more. You've been nominated for so many awards. But if you don't know, if you're watching and you're new to Jennifer's work and all of her great stuff, then please go look it up and go see her stuff and support all the great things that she's up to.
This is the strongest tea. It's
Are you
burning
getting
my
a
mouth
little bit
right off.
blitzed from
bitter.
the tea?
bitter. It's really good. If you're not going to finish it all.
This one's triple steeped. Do you want triple steeped?
Steep tea.
I love my green
While we
tea.
do that, we can get ready for
we should do some
social
quick
hype.
social hype. So I don't know what people are saying on there right now.
Oh my God!
Dale.
Everybody's just like, "We love Jennifer.
We love Jennifer.
She's
We
the
love Jennifer.
best."
I know on the site people were saying. I know Chayla Hunter wrote that she loved and deeply appreciated your words at the ACTRA Awards. So you just recently won the Award of Excellence at ACTRA. The speech you gave that night was incredible.
Thank you.
I sent it to so many people the next day so ACTRA then posted it, they tweeted it, and I sent it to all these people, and I was like, you have to watch this speech. Just so incredible.
Thanks.
Because I've been thinking a lot about, like, what actually nourishes. Because I think it's, like, in the world, it's hard to know. Like, you start to feel like you get swayed in directions. Like, oh, like, you know, making this thing will make me feel full. And or, like, you know, money will do it. Or whatever, all the things. And I felt that night sitting in that auditorium at the Carlu and watching you ever see that word, I was like, it's nourishment. This is coming from such a deep, real place and with so much passion. And it was wonderful.
Thank you.
And so well deserved.
Thank you.
And then I opened up my ACTRA magazine, and your face is like this big.
Yeah.
Like,
And she sent me a picture. She sent me a picture of, like, her with the magazine.
It's because your face is like this big. It's bigger than your face. We could make, like, faces out of it.
We should have.
Which one is that?
We should have made faces, Gail.
I a little bit was joking. I was like, I should make a face. But then I was like, I'm not going to do that. But honestly, it's this big.
In the ACTRA Performers magazine, right?
Yeah. You're on the second page.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're a big deal. Jennifer Podemski, did you know that?
Did you know? Here's something I heard. This is from Melissa Jane Shaw, who was on last week.
MJ Shaw.
I love MJ.
Yeah. I love Jen. So many people love Jen. In addition to her clear resume hype, she is also a mentor and inspirer. New word, perhaps? Inspirer. We're going to go with it.
We're going to go with that.
To so many artists, including myself, truly kind, super easy to work with, and generous, and really has awesome sisters and friends. Yeah, hype to the Jenny P.
Still, she's known me for a long time. She calls me Jenny P.
You ladies will have a blast tonight, and we are having a blast.
We are having a blast.
Thanks, MJ.
Yeah. Well, it's about
so
that
nice.
time. I know, MG's so great. You guys did Hard Rock Medical together?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that show. We talked about that show a lot last week, actually.
did.
Hard Rock Medical with MJ.
With MJ?
Yeah.
Just getting stuff done.
Just getting into it.
It was great working with her. I love
Yeah.
her. She's my favorite dancer. Well, my sister Tamara and my sister Sarah are my favorite dancers.
Yes.
MJ is my favorite non-related, non-sister dancer.
I think that's fair. I think that's fair. I take her, we talked a lot last week, I take her boot camps and her dance classes.
She's amazing.
She's amazing.
Yeah.
She's amazing. That's another hype for MJ Shaw.
Yay! New favorite thing.
New favorite thing. I can go.
Okay.
My new favorite thing, so I'm late to the party. I'm very late to this party.
Okay.
And I feel like last week I talked about a reality show, which is weird for me because I'm not usually into reality shows because I used to work on one and I was like, it was a dark time. But but we've been watching the Great British Bake Off. Is that what it's called?
Yes. The British version?
Yes. Oh my God. Can I just say,
It's
like,
so
on top
great.
of it being about baking, which, like, you couldn't make me happier, it is so lovely. Like,
It's a gentle show?
It's a gentle show. They want them to succeed.
Yes.
Even when even when the judges are criticizing them and saying, like, oh, your frangipani is not the right consistency, they always find then another thing that they think is lovely. And then the people, even when they leave, like, how most reality shows, they're like, well, like, I don't think it was the right call, and everyone's so bitter. They're always like, I'm leaving the tent a better person. And it's like,
And everybody hugs.
And everyone hugs. And I'm like, maybe it's just that, like, life has been very challenging, and I just need things that are just, like, the most uplifting, and just real people with real bodies and real faces and real, like, lives of different socioeconomic, like, I just want, it's so great. It has, like, fed me.
I have to watch it.
It's really lovely.
Watch it for the hugs and for people sitting in front of ovens going like this.
Oh my God, there's so much tension with
Like
the ovens.
this?
They're, like, staring in the
Don't
ovens.
know if it's going to work out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I'm really scared.
Yeah.
It's just like you're watching a pie. You're like,
I don't know how to make the Genoese sponge. Like, there's, like, so much stress over the things. I love it. So that's my new favorite thing. Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I can't top that.
I mean, I mine's like real simple. I was talking to a person at MAC and they said, why don't you put this thing underneath your lipstick before you put your lipstick, and then you won't have your lipstick go like this.
Like a primer?
Yeah,
Oh.
because I usually put down like I don't wear foundation on my face or anything like that, but sometimes I'll put a powder so that my lipstick doesn't go like, because I'm like a bleeder.
Doesn't bleed.
I'm a bleeder.
Yeah.
you know, and this person at Mac was like, just use this. And I was like, I don't know. I love it.
There you go.
And I'm into it.
New favorite thing.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mac.
My new favorite thing is, well, I know it's going to be my new favorite thing, but my husband ordered some speakers. He has to text me the answer.
Tell us the speakers.
Doug, let us know what the speakers
They're
are.
like supposedly amazing speakers that you can talk to.
Like
Oh,
an
like
Alexa thing? Like a,
Better than
like
an Alexa.
Like
better.
a Google Home or?
Better than a Google Home.
Oh my God.
What?
Anyway,
Doug.
if he's still, this is the true test if he's still
my gosh.
watching. Anyways, that's my new. I haven't listened to them yet, but he promised me that it's going to be my most favorite thing.
Apple
Sonia?
HomePod.
Apple HomePod.
Apple HomePod.
Apple HomePod.
All right.
Doug.
And he said that I could even change the lights with it, and I can make it play any song that I want.
That's right.
Oh my God. Will it bake for you too?
No.
Maybe we could combine all of our favorite
But
things.
like if I need a recipe, I
It'll-
can say it can tell me the recipe
Yeah.
because I'm like cooking a lot, and sometimes I just am trying to Google stuff, and it can do it for me, so I don't have to use my hands.
Yeah.
God.
You can also
My
just
hands
ask,
could be like dirty.
Yeah, in the thick of it.
Yeah.
And
you
then
could just ask
get in.
questions too. You
Yeah.
could just be like, how much does a gulper eel weigh?
I don't know what the name of it is.
It'll be
it's
like-
a HomePod, but like, does it have a
6
name?
pounds.
Like, you know, because with Alexa, you can say, Alexa, give me the ingredients
Yeah,
for
you just call her by her name, yeah.
Well, wouldn't it be Siri?
something. Oh, is
Would
it
it be
Siri?
Siri?
Yeah,
Maybe
I guess
it's
it's
Siri.
Siri. Yeah, it's probably
She
Siri.
gets around that Siri.
Also, my friend made Alexa.
Oh,
So,
right, yeah.
Shout out to Sonia Patel.
Hype to your friend who made Alexa, Dale's friend who
Yeah.
created Alexa.
Yeah, no big deal.
Guys, listen, everything you need is here at Hype Night through Dale, basically.
Yeah, we're asking Doug, is it Siri? Siri works sometimes.
Siri works okay.
I will.
Listen,
we'll have to
we'll
see.
have to check in
Tell
with
us.
you.
Okay,
Yeah, we'll check in
I
with
think
you.
that's going to be my new favorite thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We get to program it. You can call. It could be like lamp 50%, or you could call it something else.
Yeah, you're right.
It could be like cucumber tower, and it'll be like, that's me.
You could call the Apple Home
No,
Cucumber
you
Tower. It's like, that's a strange name.
No, you could call anything cucumber tower if you wanted to. You could just call anything. You name it something.
Oh, and then it knows
So you-
that the Cucumber Tower is that lamp.
Yeah, like it doesn't know lamp.
Oh,
it
right.
doesn't know lights. You say
Right,
lights
right.
50%,
Right.
or you could say like marshmallows.
half shade cucumber tower.
Cucumber Tower. I'm gonna name everything that
Cucumber
now.
tower.
Yeah,
Great.
amazing.
All right.
Well,
We're done.
it's time to sign
That was
off.
super
Yeah.
fun.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank
We're
you.
really, really pleased
Thank
to
you,
have
thank
you.
you, thank you.
We appreciate it. Thank you to everyone who
Thanks
joined
for
us.
watching.
Thank you
Yes.
for joining us. Thanks for all your comments. And
If you would like to follow Jennifer on Twitter or Instagram, it's Podemski Chick on Twitter, and Instagram is Jennifer Podemski all together like
Yeah.
that. And that's it.
And yeah, if you like us, give us a rating. See you again.
Yeah.
We really love seeing you. And we really love seeing you. Thanks. Thank you. Bye, everybody. We'll see you next week with another show.
Bye.